For Pacifica Radio, I'm Christina Onnested. President Joe Biden kicked off a 3-day, 4-state campaign tour Thursday to defend seats his party holds in an attempt to retain control of Congress and support governors' races. His first stop was in New Mexico to back Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham. There he touted his administration's efforts to help ease student debt. Christopher Martinez has more.
As many as 40 million people are eligible for the debt relief, and by the end of the week, 26 million applications will have been processed. But there is a catch.
But it's temporarily on hold. Why? Well, because Republican members of the Congress and Republican governors are doing everything they can, including taking us to court to deny the relief and even to their own constituents.
Some Republicans oppose the debt cancellation plan, saying the COVID emergency is past, so debt forgiveness is not needed. President Joe Biden blasts what he calls MAGA Republicans who sit in Congress and had pandemic relief loans forgiven.
Marjorie Taylor Greene and her husband, they got $180,000 in business loans forgiven. And she said, quote, "It's completely unfair for us to forgive student loans for working and middle-class Americans." Representative Vern Buchanan of Florida said our plan was reckless. He got forgiven $2,300,000. You can't make this stuff up.
In addition to the student loan forgiveness plan, Biden talked up other accomplishments of his administration, such as the most significant gun safety law in 30 years, the most significant infrastructure bill in 70 years, his announcement of pardons for federal marijuana possession convictions, and his judicial appointments.
The first black woman on the Supreme Court of the United States.
Reporting for KPFA News, I'm Christopher Martinez.
The president campaigns in California and Illinois today, Pennsylvania tomorrow. New York's governor rallied with women Democratic leaders. Kathy Hochul would be the state's first elected woman governor. Eileen Elfendary reports.
New York Democrat Kathy Hochul staged a campaign rally featuring top female political leaders, including Vice President Kamala Harris.
These Republicans are trying to push so many of their leaders. They have said there will be a national ban on abortion. And we're going to need people in the State House and at a local level who have the courage to stand up and push back against what is happening.
Former Secretary of State and New York Senator Hillary Clinton joined the Hochul event. Clinton noted Republicans around the country are campaigning on the issue of crime. It is a major talking point for Republican opponent Congressman Lee Zeldin, but Clinton said their professed concern about crime rings hollow.
But then a terrible crime happens in San Francisco. An intruder hits an 82-year-old man in the head with a hammer who happens to be married to the Speaker of the House, and the Republicans joke about it. The woman running for governor in Arizona jokes about it. Now, why would any sensible person want to give power to somebody who thinks it's funny that a person gets assaulted in his own home? So, they don't care about keeping you safe. They want to keep you scared so that you can't think straight.
I'm Eileen Elfendary for Pacifica Radio.
House Speaker Democrat Nancy Pelosi says her husband is out of the hospital and recovering from a brutal attack at their San Francisco home. It's been a topic of right-wing conspiracy theorists and is now a campaign talking point for Republicans ahead of the election. Catherine Carley reports.
Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene told a rally for former President Donald Trump in Iowa that Democrats care more about the border and Ukraine than they do about the U.S. southern border.
Paul Pelosi was brutally attacked by a drugged-out illegal alien that should have been deported, and Paul Pelosi should have been a gun owner and shot his attacker.
I'm Catherine Carley for Pacifica Network and Public News Service.
While Republicans are largely campaigning against Democrats seizing on inflation and crime, a new report from the Pew Research Center finds violent crime is actually down. The report looks at annual government surveys from the Bureau of Justice Statistics, which show no recent increase in the U.S. violent crime rate. In 2021, the most recent year with available data, there were 16.5 violent crimes for every 1,000 Americans ages 12 and older. That's unchanged from the year before and below pre-pandemic levels, far below the rates recorded in the 1990s, according to the National Crime Victimization Survey. TV icon Oprah Winfrey is endorsing Democrat John Fetterman in Pennsylvania's hotly contested Senate race. That puts her at odds with her friend, Republican Dr. Mehmet Oz, who's also vying for the seat. Winfrey helped launch Oz's TV career nearly 2 decades ago when she brought the heart surgeon on her daytime talk show as a regular guest. Last night, she said in an online discussion if she lived in Pennsylvania, Oprah would have already cast her vote for Fetterman for many reasons. She also threw her support behind other Democrats running for office, including Stacey Abrams for governor of Georgia and Beto O'Rourke, who is running for governor of Texas. Tensions are increasing between North and South Korea. South Korea scrambled about 80 military aircraft, including advanced F-35 fighter jets, after tracking what it says are 180 flights by North Korean warplanes inside North Korea's territory. North Korea's mobilization of warplanes have come after it test-fired about 30 ballistic missiles over the last 2 days, including an intercontinental ballistic missile yesterday that triggered evacuation warnings in Japan. I'm Christina Onnestet reporting for Pacifica Radio.